All right. Let's see how this goes. I think it just goes live whenever it damn well pleases, which is totally fine. It says I have an excellent connection, and then it says I have a bad connection. Let's see if we have any video. See how it sounds. Sounds okay? Connection, and then it says look at that. We got some sound too. All right, we are live. Vegas chat. Ask me anything, Vegas or other topics. Let's just chat for a little bit about stuff as I move my chair over. If anybody shows up, we don't know. Always fun when people show up. It's a public stream. 2 concurrent viewers. Very nice. So hopefully we can keep our connection up. For some reason, my CenturyLink is giving me a hard time. But we'll see what we can do for you guys. And I have my mic. I guess I could always extend it. Pardon this horrible, probably sounding noise. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. All right, so anybody's in the chat that want to talk, my name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. And we're doing our live stream Friday. We'll do it outside on the strip tomorrow, but we're doing it from in here tonight just to say what's going on. Vegas has got a lot of things going on right now. I've been trying to make videos about it. There we go. Con I Am is here. Kevin Lawrence is here. Mick Hopper is also here. We're earlier than we usually are, so it's only 9:30 on the East Coast. Hopefully we can get some of those people too. Starting early, yes, right, RMX Indiana. I certainly am. And looks like my connection might be terrible. I'm not really sure. I'm not getting a lot of greens on it. Mike Schuster is here. Hey, hey, from Nashville. You know who's also here is Cabana is here, and I have to reply to his email. Cabana number 5 sent me an email too. So we'll get some people in the chat hopefully. How you guys doing? How have things been? Yesterday it was a little bit tough to do stuff because my voice was not great. We had 105 on the air quality index, which is bad. Higher is worse. Brianna's in the chat. How you guys doing? So we can cover a number of topics. You guys can ask me things about Vegas. You can ask me things about anything. Whatever. The world is in flames right now. It's like the old song goes, I don't want to set the world on fire. But it's like the world is on fire right now. It's kind of nuts. And we're not doing the Arnold impression anymore, as I mentioned on my community post, because Arnold turned out to be a guy who thinks that screw your freedoms is an important thing to say. And I was just telling my wife, I was saying, you know, isn't it funny that in America you can cheat on your wife and even have a baby out of wedlock with somebody else, but the minute you say screw your freedoms, you're done? And how is he done? I mean, some people don't think it's a big thing what he said. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, what we're talking about is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he was on an interview, some kind of podcast thing. It wasn't like NBC News, or maybe it was. I don't know who it was interviewing him. And they're talking about, and he's like, you know, some people want to have their freedoms, and they're inconvenienced by a mask. Oh, screw your freedoms, he says, you know. And that's a terrible thing to say. You can't say that kind of stuff. Who else? We got some people that have joined the chat. Staying at Caesars as we speak, maskless people everywhere and love it. Oh, there you go. Isn't there an expiration date on the mask mandate? No, there's not. It's an open mask mandate. Rocky's here, big fan. Portage, Indiana. I was thinking of Portage La Prairie, which is a different place altogether. Randall Rader's here. Aloha, Randall Rader. How you doing? Chris Frosty's here. JC Hambies 63 is here. Great content. Always looking forward to your chats. Arlo Hanover's in the house. Boo Arnold, Steve 6 says. Ooh, Susan Zalesko is here. Jerry McLean, I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you, Jerry. Are you related to John McClane from the movie from Die Hard? Susan Zalesko says, Steven, I agree with you 100%. We'll get back to Arnold in a minute. Arnold, wow, not cool. Yeah, he said, you know, screw your freedoms. You don't get freedoms in this situation. But you do, and that's a problem. And I am not going to I will remind you, his father was a member of the Party of Germany that did horrible things. He was. His father was like that. And you can't go around like that. You know, it's not the way the world works, man. We have what we have because people fought for us and died for us. And I may not be from this country, but I am from Canada, and there is a memorial for fallen soldiers in Canada, and I did see my great uncles on that sign, and I know that they passed away fighting for freedom. So there you go. Love your talks, Rocky says. Thank you. Daniel Dowell says hi. How you doing? How do I know about Portage La Prairie? I don't know actually how I know about that. I can't even. Portage La Prairie. Oh, I got to look where it is again. Portage La Prairie. Prarie. Wow, why isn't autocomplete working? Because it's incognito, dummy. Yeah, Portage La Prairie. Right, it's in Manitoba, Canada, of course. I know about Canada. I'm from Canada. Like Brandon Wheat Kings. There's a song called Wheat Kings by the Tragically Hip. It's a great song. It's about a man who was accused of murder in Canada and spent like 25 years of his life in prison. And it's a sad song because David, I can't remember what his name was, David something, and he went to jail. And then DNA evidence like proved that he didn't do it. He kept saying, I didn't do it. And he got put in jail for something he never did. The song says 20 years in prison when it says nobody cares about something you didn't do. Anyways, #1 Vegas vlogger with the best subscribers. I think you guys are the best subscribers. Absolutely you are. Are you going to the strip tonight? No, Derek, we're going to do one from the studio, one from the strip, and then we're going to get out to the strip. I'm going to try to challenge myself. Once the weather cools down a little bit, we're supposed to have some cooler weather. It did kind of come all this week, but then it's going to get heated up. It's getting hot in here because this is Las Vegas, of course. So what do we got? We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So our weather should be getting hot. Oh, man, this doesn't focus as fast as the Sony does. That's our weather right there. So you can see 99, 100, 102, 104, 106, 108. But as we get in further into this month, it should be cooler. And then I'm going to try to challenge myself to a week or two straight where all I do is walk around the strip or downtown or somewhere else. My grandfather, father, husband, sons all fought for this country. Thank you, Susan. Thank you to them for their service. Our Constitution doesn't tell us what we can do. It tells the government what it can't do. Boom. Look at you, RMX. Careful with that. They'll ban you off of YouTube so fast your head will spin. Jerry McLean, you must not see me much in the chat, but I don't miss a show. Oh, thank you, Jerry. Freedom isn't free. That's right. You know, 40 million faces on the East Coast. I know, right? I know, but here's the thing. I'm not like on the strip, so I probably won't get that many people watching. The song is called 38 Years. It's called Wheat Kings, but it's 38 years old is a different song. Terry Calder just opened a beer and saw you were live. Great way to spend Friday night. Oh, thank you so much. 38 years old is a different song. It's a different song about, it's a fictional song. So 12 men broke loose in 73 from Millhaven National Security. 12 pictures that went up across the front page. Season of the Mounties had a summertime war to wage. So that was kind of based loosely on an actual place called Millhaven National Security Prison in Canada. And I don't know if there was actually a prison break there, but the story of that song is that the brother went to prison, you know, for basically killing a man who did horrible things to his sister. Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh, I'd say so good. This is a mysterious hand. Here, put this in your mouth. Okay, sure. Awesome. Oh, you should use the spices next time. Oh, no, it's Filipino food. I'm going to show you guys these spices. These were sent to me.
Yeah, like the Dicchio. I don't know how to say it. Probably Italian.
DiGiorno.
No, it's not.
No, Chef Boyardee.
The gentleman sent this.
Yeah, we're going to thank you,
and you're
wife.
Do the rest, right?
Yes, of course. So we have these. These came to us. This doesn't focus as fast as the Sony camera. This is a Panasonic. This is Desio's Salad Seasoning. And it says, feature seasoning on John's Cottage Inn Steakhouse. Jean's Cottage Inn. So I'm Canadian, so I read that as John's Cottage Inn. Like Jean-Luc Picard. Make it so. Release the Kraken. I didn't miss you there, Robert Jimenez. Thank you so much. We also have this one here. They ordered masks from us from vegasfacemask.com, and when they paid, I noticed that their shipping was going to Desio's Spices. I'm like, you guys have a spice company? Cool. And he's like, yeah, I'll hook you up. I'm like, that would be cool. So we got another all-purpose. Now, the thing about this one is you can see the quality in that. That's not just your seasonal that you buy at the dollar store, folks. That's some quality stuff. So Desio's, DECCIOS, check them out if you guys want to support somebody who watches the channel. They also sent us ranch dressing and dip mix. This is evidently great on fish, baked potatoes, vegetables, and all salads. So there is that. And there you go. Alan and Christy Marks, Desios.com, manufactured in Union Gap, Washington. This does contain monosodium glutamate, but these do not contain MSG, so that's cool. Wait. No, that one does. Wait, hold on. If this is a concern for you, it's not a concern for me. This is MSG free, so no spheres for you, MSG sphere reference. Okay, let's read some comments. Biden is the best president of the 21st century as of this date. Why did I just gyrate to that comment? Whoo! I just like, hey, man, I ain't going to be no political. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, why don't you say the most political thing you could say? Oh, do you like my shirt? Get it at imvaxshirt.com. All right, changing the subject. All right, hey Steve, hey brother. American Soldier is an awesome song. I don't know that one. There are a lot of Canadians now booking a lot of rooms in Vegas. I was on your podcast last April, live with you at the Bellagio. Cool, Gigi. Nice to see you guys coming down finally. My father and all my uncles served in World War II. Bless them all, for sure. Does anyone know any good bars to watch WWE Raw? Isn't it so tonight? Or next weekend, SummerSlam, right? SummerSlam? Wait, hold on. That's this Saturday? Son of a gun. I'm not sure. I would call some viewing parties. I know Blondie's will do it. Blondie's has viewing parties for that kind of stuff, but you got to pay to get in. That's the way of the world. Slancha. This is just a water, by the way. It's gin, because you can drink it, and it doesn't make you know that you drink it. It's water. Come on now. Random hand feeding while you're working. Oh, I'm way behind in the comments now. Can you do a reaction, a video on Tom MacDonald? Tom MacDonald, man. So I have this other channel that I started a million years ago called Let's Review Stuff Plus or something like that. That's the channel that Caroline comments from. You might see it pop up in the chats occasionally. And so just to balance out the force, I could read Paul. Paul says Biden is the worst president. So I read the good thing, I read the bad thing, and now we have the good and the bad. Tom MacDonald is from Canada, and he's a really talented hip-hop guy, but he is very conservative. Like, he's conservative. Like, he's Make America Great guy. But some of his songs aren't necessarily conservative like politics. It's just like he's a conservative person. Conservative people might not, they don't believe in abortion, and they believe in their rights and this kind of thing. So if somebody wants me to make a reaction video, I'm trying to figure out a way to utilize another channel somewhere else so I can continue making content, because there's going to be a limit or a roof you can hit on Vegas stuff. RMX says, let's stir up the juice bowl. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, those super chats help a lot. I don't beg or hustle for them, but that's cool that you guys do that. Tom MacDonald might catch you off guard visually. Yes, so let's take a look at Tom MacDonald. I'm not promoting a guy, like, you know, guys, try to not be political here. I put my mic here, I gotta move here, and I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me, because with the microphone, you have to talk into the actual microphone. If this was a microphone, there's like this one spot on a microphone that you have to actually talk into. That is spices, not a microphone. What is pancit? I like Filipino food. Pancit is a noodle dish. It's if you know Chinese food, you might think of chow mein, but it's not really chow mein. Pancit is traditionally made with rice noodles, pork or chicken, and different other things. Like Caroline makes it to my palate. Like, she makes it with a more Western flair. Right now, actually, she just pulled out a bunch of ramen noodles. You know, just like ramen, like top ramen, whatever. But the ones in the plastic packages, and she boiled those up. Those are obviously, well, they're not good for you, but they taste really good because they're fried and then they're freeze-dried. And so she's using those noodles today. But traditionally, it's like a rice noodle dish. Rice noodles are clear noodles. They're not flour noodles. They're not wheat noodles, that kind of stuff. But some parts of the Philippines do make them with flour or wheat. But Filipinos, agriculturally, they don't grow a lot of wheat in the country. They do, but it's not like here. It's not a big staple of the diet. They use a lot of rice and a lot of dishes like that. So let's bring up Tom MacDonald. Tom MacDonald's. There's a lot of MacDonald's in Canada, by the way, and I don't mean the restaurant. There's a lot of them because of all the Scots. Hey, you get a lot of Scottish people in Canada, eh? All right, so this is Tom MacDonald. Look, it tells me where all the McDonald's restaurants are. There you go. Tom MacDonald, Canadian hip-hop guy. So you look at this guy and you think, oh my God, this guy's a troublemaker. Look at all them tattoos, and he sure is shocking. Then again, I was told that Marilyn Manson was Satan, and if you ever listen to Marilyn Manson talk, he's quite the intellectual. I guess he has a wife. I don't know. Let's see this guy's wife. Oh, look at that. See? Wow. There you go. He's got a lot of tattoos. Don't let what's on the skin fool you. He definitely looks different, and it sounds different than what he should look like. So that's Tom MacDonald. Do you still have a regular job, or do you do YouTube full-time? I'm slogging through my regular job. It's not good right now. I sell advertising, and for whatever reason, the whole sales team is in a bit of a slump. But, we're going to pick it back up on Monday, and we're going to go and slog at it again. I lost a considerable amount of money at that job, inter-office things, and I don't want to get into it, but it's been tough. So I'm not complaining because I'm very blessed because I have all you guys. Hi, Steven. I'm in Vegas. Sent you an email. You did. Cabana number 5 at the Copacabana. I see your email right there. It says, act now. Get your 1 topping Papa John's for free. No, I don't get a free pizza. Today and tomorrow. Okay, no problem. Oh man, you want to pay up front. So we do these really good, we do face mask deliveries, right? And it's tough to do them up front because I'm not say Cabana would do it, but I've had people that don't pay and they just don't show. But Cabana, I'll reply to you. Check your email after this. I'll reply to you right away, and we'll pick some selections and stuff like that, my man. You're good. I know you've been very supportive, so we will make an exception about cash on delivery. Don't date lot lizards at dollar stores. This is a good tip. Last week, August 29th, 2019, Last week in August 2019, Vegas was hot, 120 degrees plus. So this year looks like more heat for you later this month. It could be. I like your real talk. Don't change your content because a few people are getting irate. Well, I lost subscribers based on my video about the Raiders. I actually did talk to one of the local news anchors today. I had his phone number from somebody that I know. And I said, hey, the Raiders are going to make a lot of people really, really sick. And he said, yeah, we know. We talked about it in our meeting, and we're not doing anything about it. Wah, wah. Sad trombone sound. They're not doing anything about it. Why wouldn't they do anything about it? Well, it's simple. Politics, money, everything else involved. You don't want to poke the billion-dollar organization in the face and lose your media credentials. Aaron Senetza, welcome to Local Las Vegas #1. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. When will the GoFundMe be ready for us to help William? William is still sick, and he's being stubborn, and I love William like a brother from another mother, but he said, I don't know, it's a complicated scenario. He's still sick, and he was considering trying to go to the hospital, but he doesn't want to have a giant $50,000 hospital bill. The average cost of COVID care is like $43,000 or something preposterous in this country. So he was using this HRSA thing, and he made the fatal mistake of calling the hospital and asking them if they participate, and he's calling private hospitals, and of course they're saying no, but that's not even the law. You're not allowed to deny somebody, and you're not allowed to bill them because it should be billed back from the government. But anyways, he's getting better. He said he was at that point, but then he woke up the next day feeling a lot better, so we're still chatting and stuff like that. More trees, less a-holes says, coming out to visit my uncle in a week or so. Maybe me and my brother will run into you. Cool. Slot Junkie says, hey, Steven, going to be uptown next week for PAC Expo. How do you think conventions will make it through things right now? I mean, all of them are switching over to this whole you have to wear a vaccine and get a mask. Get a mask shot and wear a vaccine. You have to get a vaccine and you can go maskless and all that stuff. And so it's that two-tiered society I warned you all about last year. But, people said I'm crazy, so... People say I'm crazy. That's a John Lennon song. But I'm not crazy, and that's what's happening right now. So I think conventions will be fine. People are going to do them. The big ones especially have a lot of money vested into them. Steve, you and your wife come eat at hubby's new restaurant. He is one of the chefs. Not his restaurant, but we'll still cook you some food. Where's that MC High Life? Is it in Vegas? Maybe we'll do a quick restaurant review in Vegas. But you got to email me, stevenj@notleavinglasvegas.com. And for some reason... I don't have my channel stuff up. There it is. And I don't have my logo up. There it is. Bing bong. Coolio. Yeah, I should leave those things up. So you can email me. It's on the thing down here. stevenj@notleavinglasvegas.com. We can talk about that. Steve D says, update on the Rhonda Walker. She went home from the hospital yesterday and was recovering from her brain tumor surgery. She is sleeping a lot right now. Well, that is good, Steve D. Good update there. Two-tiered society, J. Bart. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, think about it this way, right? If you had all the money and resources in the world, you were great. You done it, sir. You have a $10 million net worth. And you want to send your child, who is very gifted, very smart kid. Hell, your kid could even be Doogie Howser, MD. But you want to send him to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Ivy League school. Your kid has to have a vaccine in order to go. And if the kid doesn't have a vaccine, kid can't go. 2 tiers. Vaccinated, unvaccinated. That's it. Look at New York City. New York City, yeah, they're telling people that you have to have a vaccine in order to get into bars, restaurants, gyms, entertainment venues. LA is going to do the same thing, and AEG, the big company that does all the shows, they're telling people the same thing. So, yeah, we're gonna get to that point. Unfortunately, where are the good coffee shops in Vegas? Can't keep doing Starbucks. John. Look what I did with your name. I put the... Anyways, John, I don't drink coffee. I'm not a caffeine guy anymore. I don't drink any caffeine at all, so I don't know. But there's a... Coffee. You know, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I can't say. I have nothing on that. I'm really sorry. I'm not a coffee guy. Hi there. I'm a priest. If anyone got hurt, tell me so I can pray for you. And by the way, I am from the church. Sleeping Dogs movie. Oh, very nice. You guys can get a prayer from Sleeping Dogs movie. Stanford Pepperdine. What's my opinion on Circa? I like the property. I do like their property. We can't film Circa because they have this very, 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 very strict filming policy. You cannot do video in there. You can take photos all you want, but I wish I could film in Circa. That would be nice. They have a very good TikTok account if you like looking at people having fun with Stadium Swim. So just go on TikTok and look at Stadium Swim. August Ice says Lavazza coffee is good. There you go. Coffee, no worries. Maybe I'll bring my own next time. It's okay. I have Filipino coffee. I gave it to my friend. We bought it. Philippines used to be one of the biggest coffee producers in the world. By the way, if you guys like this, check out our sponsor, Pinay Magazine, over on Instagram. They have actually a pretty good feed. We can show you that right now. They're the channel sponsor. And I have to bring them up. Instagram.com/ Well, first of all, let's look at my Twitter feed. I haven't updated my Twitter feed in about a minute, unfortunately, but that's me not leaving Las Vegas. I want to put more content up there, but when I do put content up, it says you have to sign up for Instagram, dummy. Of course, I'm in a private window. But when I do put content up, I try to do really nice photos. As you guys can see, they're not typical Las Vegas photos. I should really just show you guys the actual photos, but I don't have no time for that. So go check out Instagram. And then our sponsor, they're an Instagram-based thing. See if I can find them. Here they are. And they're buying the entire side of the billboard at Resorts World. And I told you, the guys will like it because of the girls, and the girls will like it because of the girls stuff. I don't know why these are broken. Oh, look at that. That's me. They're cool people. They're really nice to us. Pinay Magazine over on Instagram. You guys can go check them out. So that's our shout out for our channel sponsor. Meow Sparkles. Yeah, he said, screw your freedom. And I won't even do it in the Arnold voice anymore. Arnold, you're dead to me, Arnold. What did you do, Arnold? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Arnold? That's how Lou Ferrigno's father would say it. I don't know if Lou Ferrigno's father sounds like that. I got more stuff to show you that people sent me. Of course, if you send me stuff, I'll be glad to show it on the channel. This came to us from Kathleen Reed. No, it didn't. But Kathleen Reed says, are you going to do any of the strip trips, like the suggestion we do one each time we come? Are we going to do any of the strip trips, like the suggestion we do one each time we come? I don't know what you mean by strip trips. Like, I'll be on the strip tomorrow. I just, I've been to the strip a billion times, and I'm trying to cut down my exposure to people because of COVID reasons. This was sent to me, so Kathleen, I'll be out there tomorrow. I don't know if you have anything else you want to follow up with that. Let's see here. I'll take your marker, kid. Look at you, Lou. You look like a Greek god. I don't know. This is from Pumping Iron. So somebody sent me this hat. Let's see if I can get it to fit. Velcro alert. When Spanish flu hit the fear factor, I was just as high. Spanish flu. For some reason, I read that as Spanish fly. Of course, the harrowed women's aphrodisiac that doesn't work. So I don't know if it works. I heard it doesn't work. So this hat says 3, 2, 1. Click on it. Look at that. That's pretty nice. I like it. Thank you so much. And I also got a shirt, which for obvious reasons I won't try on channel because I don't want to go shirtless because that's gross. By the way, I joined OnlyFans. I'm not joking. I really did. This one says 3, 2, 1. Click on it. The shirt's a little big, but I'm still going to wear it in some capacity. So that's pretty cool. So thank you for them for sending me some nice stuff, and I appreciate it. And I got your personal note. Unless you tell me I can say your name when I send stuff, I'm not going to say your name on the channel for privacy reasons. Let's see here. Yeah, the hat fits really good, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's see here. Hey, guys. we'll tell you an update later. Live stream reaction says, oh, here we go. We got a live stream reaction channel. What does live stream reaction do? Do they tear us apart? Do they lift us up? There's a whole bunch of people that tear us apart out there. His wife is in it for the money. Whose wife is in it for the money? Who are we talking about? Please give Lou Frango's Dan impersonation a shot. I can't remember how he sounds. I just do the typical New Yorker that sounds kind of like a mixture between Fauci and Mo Sisolak from The Simpsons. Let's see here. Great channel. I met you in Resorts World last month. Oh, Steven, how's this going, buddy? How do you feel the mask mandate will affect new visitors? Nobody likes it very much, but we're at a point where I don't think that masks are ever going away, unfortunately. I just think that they're going to be a part of our life in some capacity. And some people will choose to wear them all the time, and some people don't want to wear them. If you do have to wear a mask, you can wear these masks from vegasfacemask.com. No S at the end, of course. My wife makes these, sends them directly out to you. This one's called Vegas Nostalgia, and it's actually a really nice one. Let's see, that one's got the Las Vegas Club on that side. This is really old school stuff, so 2 for $25. Comes directly out to you, and she makes them from scratch. Let's see here. When will the casinos realize that the vlogs are great for free advertising unless their property is an F-up? Most are positive. They know this, but they just want to control the scenario and the situation. I'm very sure of that. Let's see here. I don't have masks. I don't see masks being something we will have to live with. I don't know. I mean, I've had this conversation with a few people. Other countries have been wearing them for years. I'm not sure. Terry Calder said the mask is dope. Yeah. So it actually is a really nice one. And I like the old, the House of Jackpots. I never even noticed that. You can see right there. Las Vegas Club, the House of Jackpots. This fabric is really hard to get. We only have a little bit left of it. And of course, the inside is different because it's 2 types of fabric, 2 layers of fabric, all cotton 100%. Let's see here. Don't like masks, but it's a necessity, just as the vaccine. Nigel Grimm says, nice shirt. Oh, yeah. I'm wearing this. I made this shirt. You can order these if you wanted to. It supports the channel. Let's see here. Get that from imvaxedshirt.com. I should probably type it into the chat. Let's see. I don't even know if it's working because I had some problems with it. VAXSED shirt.com. As I crank the volume up, yeah, here it is. imvaxedshirt.com. You can, if you wanted to order one, you don't have to order anything. It does help though. Vaccine is not necessary, as not a necessity, somebody says. Okay, I don't know about that. I think that the powers that be would disagree with you, but that's okay. Let's see here. I want a shirt that says I identify as vaccinated. Well, there you go. Do you ship the masks internationally? No, we ship them to Canada. We can ship them to the UK. Canadian shipping is typically $15, though. It's just we use USPS. It's actually $1 or $2 cheaper than UPS and FedEx. The UK is typically $20. But when you do that order, you got to wait for me. I have to email it back, and I have to invoice you separately for the shipping. Let's see here. Anti-vaxxers want to ruin the economy. No, they just want their freedom to make a choice for themselves. I don't think anybody wants to ruin the economy. And since a lot of the people that don't want to get a vaccine are the people that supported the last guy with the economy, I don't foresee that they want to ruin the economy. That's kind of one of those types of blanket statements that people make because they want to prove their point, but it doesn't prove a point. All you do is you make the other side really upset by saying that. So maybe ask the question, you know, do anti-vaxxers want to ruin the economy, or what is their real prerogative? You know, that's what you could ask. Are you going to strip on Fremont tomorrow? I'll be on the strip tomorrow. I know plenty of people who have had COVID and survived. Stop acting like it's a death wish. I don't know who's acting like it's a death wish. I know somebody that got their first vaccine, and a week after that, they were at a restaurant. 3 days after that, they were in the hospital and nearly died. I know somebody who, before there were vaccines, in his 30s, ended up in a coma for 27 days. Nearly died. So, I don't know. Right? Do you know? I don't know. Hi, Steve. Do you follow a diet with your workouts? Okay. Well, no. Maybe, kind of. So I used to track everything, like through MyFitnessPal. And it got really tedious. I used to do all sorts of fad diets, too, because at one point I was very low body fat. This was a long time ago. Not really right now. I buy a lot of, I don't eat as healthy as I should. I eat a lot of Quest products. Quest is a brand of, they make like protein chips and stuff like that are basically just made out of whey protein. So I just try to get my protein in every day, and then I try to eat a lot of protein. I just eat a lot of protein. Anything else comes behind it, and I kind of keep a running tally in my head, because when you track food for 4 years, you kind of know what things are, and you can do math in your head like some kind of Rain Man. Yeah, definitely 250 calories for lunch. It's ridiculous. Not a way to live. Let's see here. I eat whatever random hand feeds me, yeah? I come in here, she busts in the door, Caroline busts through the door about 20 minutes ago and says, here, try this. And it was a piece of chicken. She's making pancit, Filipino pancit. Linda Perryman likes the hat. Yes, somebody sent me this. It was so nice of them. If you guys send me stuff, I'll definitely do it on the live stream. I'll show you off stuff on the live stream. So should I be allowed to smoke anywhere I want, drive drunk without headlights? No, but those are different arguments altogether, right? So those are two very different arguments. You can't conflate both of them. You can't say, well, people should be able to drive drunk, because they make a definitive choice to drive drunk. Nobody makes a definitive choice to get COVID-19. Nobody says, well, I know full well that if I do this thing will happen. But you know that if you drink and you drive, and that's a very valid argument. The same argument is made for gun control and things like this. So they say that back in the day, seatbelts and insurance on vehicles and even driving licenses were not laws. So we should make all these laws based on this one thing. But again, it's not a choice if somebody gets sick. It's a thing that happens to people even when they take extreme measures to not get sick. So it's tough. It's tough. Well, let's see here. Some high-quality H2O. It is H2O. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Yeah, generally. I eat more than that, usually. Jeff is in Margaritaville looking for his lost shaker of salt. Chucky Gold says, are you autistic? I'm not being offensive, just serious. Probably a little bit. So a couple of years ago, a friend of mine, I do this thing, by the way. I don't know why I do this. That's part of why you're asking, right? I know you are. A couple of years ago, my friend of mine, Josh, said, I think you're on the spectrum, dude. And I'm like, you 23-year-old punk, why, yada? And I got really offended. And he had just had a baby boy. And I'm like, what if somebody said that about your son? He'd say, well, I get him tested and find out. So there's this autism spectrum. Most people don't know this, but you should know it probably, because you've dealt with people like this before in the past. Some people who have, like, they used to call it Asperger's, and then some people will say, well, you know the guy they named it after. He said on his deathbed it never existed. I don't think that's true. That's a story they tell. But anyways, they used to call it Asperger's, and now they call it high-functioning autism. And it means that you have traits that lend well to certain types of jobs and certain situations, but traits that will crush you in other places. And so, I don't know, maybe I'm on the spectrum. Who knows? I have no idea. I do move around in my chair a lot. That's a sign of it. I do eat the same set meals every single day. That's a sign of it. I do like to stay within the parameters of structure and rules to an extreme degree, and that's a part of it too. So who's to say? It doesn't really matter. I blew out my flip-flop, stepped on a pop-top flip-flop. Is that a cup for soup? Yes, this was from a hot, what was this? Tom Yum shrimp from the Vietnamese, Thai place. Vietnamese people don't eat Tom Yum shrimp. It's a Thai dish, stupid. That's it. He screwed that dish up. Total racist. Cancel him. No, so yeah, it's a Thai food. It's a Tom Yum shrimp. It's a really great place called Kung Fu Thai over on Valley View and Spring Mountain Road. It's been there since the 70s. So that's true, and you should check it out. If you choose not to get the shot and continue to go out and be careless, then you're putting yourself at risk as well as others. Oh, okay, it can be argued that way. Amazing how some people can put it away and get full on a biscuit. A busket? A biscuit. Click it or ticket. Took a while to stick it. Now it's masket or casket. Okay. Chucky Gold says, why are we so creative? I guess I have extreme video editor's block. It's to the point where I was nearly crying this week. It was not a good thing. It sucked really, really bad. Let me show you something right now in this other window, and it won't play very well because this is not what you can really do, but this is actually my Raiders video. Completely unfinished, and I'm incredibly ashamed about this project because I wanted to have it done within 2 days. Let me mute my audio so you don't have to hear that. So, I mean, this is basically, I filmed this in 4K HDR, and it looks fantastic. And this is me skimming through it faster than it should go right here. And then what I did was, like, if you've seen these videos that are really excellent videos by some of these channels, I did this, like, whole, like, montage thing here where I talk about stuff. And, you know, we talk about things in an intro, a whole history on how the team ended up here. I was really proud of this one. And then I got to here where I made this really cool looking, like, boo, look at that whiz bang bam. And then I had to make this audio work because I was an idiot and I filmed this in front of a bus. And I have all this freaking footage. Look at how much footage I have. This is all footage I have to go through from the Raiders that I have to get done. It's crippling me. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, what is my major malfunction? What is my problem? Those were our seats right there, by the way. It's pretty cool. Marie Osmond actually sang the national anthem, which was also pretty darn cool. Well, yeah, great seats. That's Allegiant Stadium in there. But whatever, man. I mean, it's just, it happens to the best of us. Some of the most brilliant people on earth in history have a touch of autism. They say Bill Gates has it. They say that Dan Harmon, who created Rick and Morty, has it. Probably a million other people. Nervous energy is not autism. This is not nervous energy, though. I'm not nervous. I have all these traits. I did these tests. I was like 90th percentile positive on the test that doctors would give you, you know? Let's see here. Did you do a before and after on your progress? No, I have photos. They're disgusting. I still look disgusting with a shirt off. Don't even get me wrong on that. Don't get me started. You're really as clean cut as you make yourself out to be. No beer, no mota, no coca. I don't do any of that stuff. I used to drink. It's just not good for me. Now, so some people in these chats have been like, yeah, that's because you're really a jerk in real life, and alcohol makes you the person you really are. No, that's actually not the case at all. That's complete fallacy. But they have done studies, and they've done tests, and they're not scientific, but they ask a person about their personality. They ask a person about their situation in life, and if a person feels dominated by somebody else at work or in the home front, and then they drink alcohol, they tend to be belligerent and act out against others because they lose their layer of tactfulness that they would never do in real life. It's kind of like getting on the internet. I don't think that everybody I meet on the internet that's a complete jerk is like that in real life, but they act like that on the internet. So yeah, but I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have no reason to do that. Let's see here. Unfortunately, we are so American in arguing about a mask. Pray for the people in Afghanistan. That's true, Michael Frank. They need some prayers. Let's see what we got here. Hyperactive. What's this? No one's brain wiring is 100% perfect. Yeah, Steve, what would you pick as your favorite Gordon Ramsay restaurant? Well, considering I haven't eaten at any of them, I wouldn't know. Probably the cheapest one, but that's probably not the way to pick a restaurant. Let's see here. Let's see here what we got. Scat coffee is the most gross. Yeah, but you're right. It comes out of the butt of a donkey or something like that. This is so disappointing. I thought it was going to be a fun stream with people asking you questions about Vegas, but it seems to be more about vaccines. Hey, listen, that's what they're trying to talk about. If people want to start out, Donna, why don't you ask me a question about Vegas? You can start the ball rolling. Start it going. I'm just going with the flow with the crowd. Stephen, Rob, and I would like to know about Vegas jazz lounges or clubs. Wow, I'm not a Vegas jazz lounge or club guy. I don't know that there are many of them in town. I can't really answer that well, but that's a great question. The seasonal flu doesn't flood hospitals. Yes, it does, Miro Mel. It absolutely does. Are you kidding me? Absolutely, it 100% does. Look, I'm just going to, look, okay, LA Times, tents for flu season, hospitals. Sorry, I just want to, we'll get off this in a minute. But here, look, I want to show you something. Look, here it is. This is from California, and this is from 2018. This is 2018-01-16. Here, they built tents outside of the hospitals in LA in 2018. Okay? Mike Schuster, thank you so much. I'm sorry, Stephen, but I noticed all the vaxxers ripping non-vaxxers. Per CDC, vaxxers spreading double. I know, man. You guys have to be nice to each other on that stuff. Don't be mean to somebody because they won't get a vaccine. Be happy because you got one. But anyways, I just want to show you guys that. Yeah, they have had tents in front of hospitals in California on and off since the beginning of hospitals. So don't let that fool you. Let's see here. Area code 705 checking in. Can't wait to go back. Very nice. Stop the economy for a second. Stop the Planet of the Apes. I want to get off. Let's see here. You have to wonder where some people get their news. No, it's okay, Ed. Everybody gets to be educated. And some of them will listen to what I say and not believe it, but that's from the Los Angeles Times. And some people will not listen to what I say, or they will choose to believe it. I don't know. Chelsea, Massachusetts. Hi.
You want to do a person mukbang? I'm just kidding.
No, that's okay. I don't think these people want to watch me eat food. Just have a giant tray in front of me.
Does anybody knows about mukbang?
Mukbang. Do you guys know about mukbang? We got to get off this COVID and government talk because that's all we're talking. I said, ask me a question. All they want to talk about is COVID in Afghanistan. Then they complain when I talk about things that are real news. They say, oh, it's too political. It's, oh my God, too much. And so I take that video down.
Mukbang. It's like
who knows about mukbang? Yeah, nobody's listening to me right now, so it's good. Sylvia says no. Penelope says yes. John says yes. Rydub says yes. Bitcoin is worth more than the American dollar. Yes, it is. So is Ethereum. What's your favorite item? So mukbang is the thing that started in Korea. Korea is a very interesting society. I like Korea a whole lot.
You're lonely.
If you're lonely and you're in Korea, you're not alone. So they have very small spaces in Korea where people generally don't eat together. So these Korean streamers started just eating on camera. And some of them will pull in tens of thousands of people watching them eat. And they can make $1 million a year eating on camera. But they eat gargantuan amounts of food. Like imagine this entire thing was at a high top table and I was just eating and I'd have a giant lobster, a crab, a thing. And you can hear them and you're watching them eat. I mean, it's like, what? So they just eat continuously for like an hour or 2 hours on end. It's kind of nuts. The Raiders are being investigated for tax fraud. Oh my gosh. You will never hear that reported here in the news. Like the news is not interested in saying anything bad about the Raiders. They're afraid of them. See, are there plans for major resorts? No new major resorts coming up. Is Counts Customs still in business? They are. They moved their location, but they still do tours and stuff in there too. More vintage pictures of Vegas, please. Yeah, I put that up as the thumbnail. It was from that video I just showed you. So we could do more vintage. Steven, have you ever eaten at Batista's Hole in the Wall? Thoughts? I hear it's really great. I've not eaten there yet. There's a lot of places we have yet to go to. I always say the same with Batista's. If they're still offering the all-you-can-drink wine, just be careful. It's boxed wine, and it probably doesn't do well for you on the hangover side of things. ConIM has an opinion on the IRS. Blackjack MR, Hamilton, Ontario, around 100 Fahrenheit, trying to compete with Vegas. Wow. Yeah, it was actually, if that's the case, then it's hot. It was higher temperatures in Hamilton than it is here today. It was only like 96 degrees. Any updates on, Steven, the possible fees you are talking about in your video? When I hear that kind of stuff, I'll definitely drop it for you. That comes from my source. And I want to put more videos up like that. You know, those are interesting videos for sure. Jasper or Banff for vacation? I'm going to shock you and say go to Canmore. I mean, Banff National Park, Jasper, Banff, son of a gun. Jasper, Banff, and Canmore are all in the province of Alberta. But they are all nice places, but Canmore is not in any national park. So if you go to Canmore, you're going to save money on park entry fees, and it's still a little ski resort. Counts Customs. I don't know where they moved to. I know they're still around. Counts Customs is on Highland Drive. So they're actually behind. So this is Counts Customs. They're famous for being on TV. So let's find they're by Battlefield. They're right behind Resorts World. So you could actually do Counts Customs and Resorts World and do a double whammy. I never remember how to do this property. So we're going to go to our satellite view. You can see Battlefield Vegas is right here. That's the Circa Circus, and Counts Customs is right here. So unfortunately, like, you're not going to be able to get to it just by walking from Resorts World or Circa Circus because there's fences back here. So the way to get there, you actually got to kind of it's out of the way. That's the worst part. See this road here? There's really no streets that go in between anywhere. So take a taxi, even if you're on the Strip, or a Lyft. It's not going to make sense, but Counts is in the back. So right in the back. But that's where they're at, and they got all the pretty cars and stuff like that. So then the main strip is, of course, right here. As you can see, I don't know if I can go 3D from here, but we're not going to do that for too long. Okay, let's see here. Don't know if counts as a cool guy. There you go. The Drew is going to be a Siegel Suites. Yeah. Or the Drew is actually going to be a Marriott. They say they're going to open it in 2023, Q4. What kind of food does the Peppermill serve? The Peppermill serves standard American kind of restaurant food. So Peppermill, of course, is... let's go here. So if you guys ever want to see what foods are going to look like before you go to the place in Vegas, or any place for that matter, just type in open table, and then where you're looking for Peppermill Vegas, and it'll bring you up what you're looking for. Peppermill's Fireside Lounge. Of course, they're right on the strip. See them before they somehow sell out. And go to photos. Why are there no photos? Are you freaking kidding me? Well, they're not an open table. Usually that works. Look, they have their entire menu, but no photos. Peppermill Vegas. And just go like that. And then just type in food. You can see what kind of food they have here. Just Google image it. Google image that. You know what up. So, fruit salad. Steak. So what's for dinner? Steak. More steak and eggs. Breakfast type stuff. That looks like really good French toast. Oh my God, I'm totally hungry. Oh no, it's too much for me. And then on the menu here, I mean, they're going to have burgers. They're going to have fries. It's a lot of breakfast type food, though, it looks like. But there you go, Peppermill. That is what you got going on. Peppermill is a copy of the original in Reno. Well, I think they were once owned by the same company, actually. Price range for that, not expensive. It's not going to be like when you're going into a high-end hotel casino. Wow, look at how little all the menus are. This is useless. Completely. Okay, here's one. Big old omelet, $14. So it's anywhere between $12. You can get French toast for $10. So it's $10 to $15 per person, minus the drinks and stuff like that. Whatever happened to American Restorations, Rick's Restorations? Rick's Restorations used to be... All right, now we're just going to go all full in on it. I got to do this. Boom. I want you guys to see that general view. We're going to go here, and I'm going to turn on my satellite layers. I never remember how to... I can never remember fully how to actually go 3D on this. So let me find that out. Let's find the strip, and how do we do the three-dimensional thing? Let's see here. Wow, I can't even... I know there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, and I have a will and a way. Wow, I'm going to... Permit me 1 second. I'm just going to go open up Google Earth, because it's better that way. Google Earth Pro. And I'll show you guys where that is, too, because they moved to a different location. I live near the Strip. Some apartments are nice, and some are hot. Yeah, that's true. That's not as expensive as most resort places, but still 2.5... thrice pricier than most American diners. Yeah, but you are paying, of course, your Vegas tax on all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, it makes total sense. So let's go back to our explainer screen, and I'm going to get rid of myself for half a second here. So we're going to type in Rick's Restorations. Rick's Restorations. That'll come up here. Are you guys ready? Rick's Restorations. Wow. It didn't even bring it up. Oh, there it is. It's in Mesquite Avenue in Las Vegas, Nevada. Whoa! So it's actually near. It's near downtown, actually. So you can see downtown. This is going to be like. Now I got to figure out how to move this around. There it is. All right. So we're going to have our downtown view. So you can see the World Market Center from downtown. That's the World Market Center. And then if we can somehow figure out how to move our. There it is. So that's downtown Fremont Street down here. And then that's Rick's Restorations down here. They did move a few years ago. They were located right off of Charleston. So they're not too far away, to give you an idea of where that's at. Google is like the best invention. It is, except for, you know, the part where they spy on us and read all of our data continuously. Some people want to zoom in. Kumusta po, how busy does it get Labor Day weekend? My Filipino wife, Daisy, and I will be there for 9-2 in Vegas from Michigan. Oh, my God, super busy. Also, if you're here, make sure you take her over to Resorts World because they're going to have Pinay Magazine up on the display. So she'll be happy to see that, and that's pretty cool. And that's her culture, man. That's where she's from, and she'll get a kick out of that. But it'll be super duper busy on that. That's going to be one of the big vacations of the year, I think, this year. Some people wanted to zoom in a little bit more. And you can, of course, there is no Circa in this view. It's under construction. You can see the shell of it right here. I hope this gets updated soon, but unfortunately, it's not that updated. Definitely organized crime one. Okay, we're missing something different. Remind me of the extreme close-up from Wayne's World. Extreme close-up. Whoa! Would like to see the old Rat Pack days casinos. Yeah, I mean, those are generally going to be downtown. Everything that was Rat Pack related on the Strip is now gone. It's just gone. It's not coming back. But yeah, that's downtown. And the distance from downtown, of course, to the Strip is pretty long. I mean, you're not going to want to walk that. Devin, hello, sir. And to our Not Leaving Las Vegas family, thank you, Devin. I appreciate it. Well, there's still worker shortages in Vegas. Absolutely. Tons of places hiring in Las Vegas right now, but nobody wants to work because of whatever reasons. That's a little warped building is near the World Marketplace. It's a, yeah, what's that little warped building? Is that what you're asking me? If you're asking me what is that building, which one are we looking at? I'm completely out of view right now. So we're back to where we were looking right here. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. That's this one. That's the Lou Revo Neurological Institute. Man, Google Earth has improved their models. This is actually pretty slick. This is a first of its kind for Vegas. That is the building architecture. That's how it actually looks. It was designed by Frank Gehry, who is a super famous building architect. He's a Canadian guy by birth, I think. Or it might be that he naturalized, but he's actually done different buildings all over the world, like the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art, and he's designed buildings for Disney, that kind of stuff. So that building there is I mean, it's just a regular building inside, but when you look at it from the outside, it looks like that. And it sits right across from the Government Center, which is that building right there. And then you're, of course, right across from the Outlet Center, which is that giant, expansive thing right there. If I send you a Tito for $25 at the Gold Coast, will you mail me 2 $1 poker chips from the Golden Gate? What's a Tito? I suck at this. Email me, little Katie lady. It's not a problem if you want me to send you some $1 poker chips. That's fine with me. You don't even have to send me $25. I'd probably just figure out a way to do it eventually. Looks like the museum in Spain. Yeah, it probably does. I mean, there's a good chance that guy designed that. He builds those weird-looking buildings. And, you know, so it's actually pretty cool. And then we have the Smith Center, stuff that was never built before. The Smith Center for Performing Arts is back here somewhere. And my internet connection is totally dying on me. Where is the Smith Center? Oh, now I can't find it. Smith Center, where art thou, Smith Center for Performing Arts. Oh. It's a pretty... Oh, wow, I can't seem to find it anywhere. That's embarrassing because I know where it is. Like, what the hell, man? Okay, that's the World Market. The Smith Center is right across from it. It's possible that it's not on the maps yet. There's no model for it. But the Smith Center is the only Broadway-style actual venue in Las Vegas, which is beautiful. Oh, you sent me a cash-out voucher as a Tito. Ticket in, ticket out. Gotcha, FlixPix. Look at me. I don't know my Vegas vernacular. Hope to see you on the Strip during November. Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be cool. Let's see here. The older casino resorts. What is this now? I'm reading some stuff. The older casino resorts were opulent but not too large. Easier to maintain and control. Steve, you should fly that plane simulator again sometime. I know, Matt. I'd have to get a Windows computer set up, and I don't have that. And I'm not building one just for that. But I'd love to do that again. It's the last stop on the monorail, though. The Sahara, yeah. Rent is up, but still better than LA. But that's relative, because that means rent is up in LA as well, right? Hey, Steve, as a Vegas resident, do you feel inflation will remain? Oh, don't get me started, man. Inflation is out of control right now. Inflation is no bueno right now. It's not a good thing. You know, it's bad because gas is up, food is up, everything is up. These grocery stores are admitting that they're stockpiling things that have like very far out or no expiration date whatsoever, because the grocery store can buy them for the same price now and hold them at that price. And then, you know, a year from now, they can charge you more for them. So it's just arbitrage. That's when you buy low, sell high, right? And they're not doing it on purpose. But if the entire market shifts, let's say a can of, let's say a jar of seasoning. This was sent to us. You can't buy this at a Smith's grocery store, at least not yet, or a Kroger or whatever. Let's say this is worth 75 cents to the grocery store, but inflation makes this now worth 95 cents to the grocery store, or they suspect it will go up to that. So they're going to buy thousands or millions of these when it's 75 cents, because then when the price does go up another 20 cents, because they're going to buy it now at 75 cents, they're going to sell it for $1.25 and make 50 cents on the deal. So they want to make 50 cents on the deal. But when the price goes up everywhere else and they bought this at 75 cents, now the price is $1.75. Now they're making $1 on the deal, having originally bought it for 75 cents. If anything I make sense, does that make sense? Tell me in the comments below. Don't worry, let's see here. Let's see here. Biden, oh, we're talking about Biden, fake Google Earth. Okay. I've already stocked up on TP. Oh, there you go. Give everyone a laugh. Show them that picture I sent. It's actually in my other room, but I'll show it on the next one. I promise, Shadow. What are they charging to do a gallon of gas in Vegas these days? I paid $4.10 myself. That's what I paid for a regular. How busy is this trip in August compared to August of 2019? It's not as busy because there's not international people here. So when there's no internationals here, it's not as busy. It's kind of how that works. Not as busy. As a Canadian, how do you feel about the border still not opening for us? I think it's unfair. It's very unfair. You can't keep the border closed forever. You Canadians should be able to drive over. But, you know, Uncle Justin is afraid of people getting sick, and I guess it's working. You know, it's better than it is here. I miss the Stardust, Nancy says. Very cool. Have you tried the Tesla tunnel yet? No, I reached out to them. Actually, funny because I know the head of the LVCVA, and Caroline built a paper flower wall for her at her for free. Caroline did this thing where she made these amazing paper flower walls. I just, you know, and unfortunately, I mean, it was very frustrating. I mean, let me see if I can find it because the website is broken. I have to fix the website. Here it is. Caroline made this exact wall right here. I'll show you. That wall right there. That's Caroline. She built that thing. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So she built that, and we did it for the head of the current LVCVA. And I reached out to her, and she was very nice. And she says, well, right now, these are also ones that Caroline made. Right now, we're not doing anything with it, but, you know, maybe in the future we could have you in. So maybe I'll contact her again. I really thought it would be really cool if we could see it. And I'd be like, hey, you know, my wife made you that thing for your bridal shower years ago. Could I get a favor? But it's a very big business. The LVCVA is worth billions of dollars. They don't got no time for no guy with 58,000 subscribers. Now, if I had 100,000, maybe that would be a difference. Or if I had CNN on my shirt, then they would let me in. So maybe in the future. She is skilled. I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler. Yeah, she made those all by hand. There's no machinery, no cry-cut machines. People know what those are. Nothing like that. What do you think about the auto shop in town that up and disappeared, cheating folks out of money and throwing all away all their cars? Triple H. That kind of stuff happens, unfortunately. We have very high business license tax, business license fees here in Clark County. Some of the highest anywhere. Years ago, I was fixing computers on the side for like $40 a shot, and I was doing it on Craigslist, and I tried to get licensed, and it was like thousands of dollars for all the licenses you would need. Whereas in California, the same thing will cost you a couple $100s. So they try to keep the license fees high so they don't have that happen, so people have an investment in it. But it just, it can happen. It's unfortunate when it does. Let's see here. Hello from Wellington, New Zealand. Man, New Zealand on the lockdown, level 4, highest lockdown. Well, we hope New Zealand gets better soon. Sucks that they're locked up. Do you think that eventually the casino resorts operation people will understand that they can just might price themselves into a hole due to lack of attendance? If that happens, they'll just adjust attendance on the fly, but then you got to wonder what the actual market they're trying to get to is. Is the market they're trying to tap into you and me, or is it businesses? Because I think it's just businesses and high rollers that they care about right now. New Zealand on lockdown after one case. That's tyranny, somebody said. Well, I mean, I spoke to a bunch of people from New Zealand through a chat, or through a thread on Twitter. So the thing about New Zealanders is you guys have a great pride and you love your country, and that's excellent. I love it when people love their country, be it from New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Great Britain, United States. Some people in New Zealand argue that, you know, they did a better job than the United States. And I guess on paper you can argue that. But then you look at the stats, and New Zealand has a population of 5.3 million. There are 9 cities in America with a larger population than the whole country of New Zealand, and then there's 26 states with more population than the entire country of New Zealand. So whereas New Zealand did a great job, I think it might be more fair to compare New Zealand to a place that's also an island with less people. It's tough. It's tough to compare the two. It's a really unfair comparison. And in America, we have this stubborn attitude of freedom isn't free and I'm going to be free. And that's another thing, too. So it's hard to get Americans to stop traveling. I think it's just a mindset. Some Dunk says, Oh, I'm not going to read that comment, but I will approve it. Can you do a video about Elvis? Yes, we got one coming up, Roger. We were at the Westgate, and I'm going to have that video up soon enough. We have a really good Elvis video coming. You're going to like it a lot. Excuse me. Juan says, going to head out a bit. Got to look up how to deal with needy boss. Going back to my old job, and boss is showing himself to be really needy. Well, at least you got a job. That's good. Is Pete Rose still around at the shops down there? He used to see him at the sports shops. You saw that because Pete Rose made a bunch of money off of signing memorabilia. He's still here. I think he still lives in Vegas. But Pete Rose isn't the only one that does that. They have all sorts of athletes that come in. Leon Spinks, I think he passed away, but he was a boxer. He used to sign things down there. You go down there, you spend anywhere between $250 up to the sky's the limit, and you get a meet and greet, and you get them to sign something for you. Dean Crow is a proud Kiwi. Very nice. You know, New Zealanders. You gave us Sir Edmund Hillary, the man who climbed Mount Everest first. You also gave us Russell Crowe, and you gave us the Lord of the Rings. And I met a professional sheep shearer once. His whole job was he got the wool off of the sheep super fast. And he said that there's only a few of them that are as good as him in the world. And because of that, he would travel around the world and get paid to come into places like the United States and go into a farm environment and shear all the wool and just shave all the sheep. And he said, it fueled my world travels. And I thought, man, that is something so particular to your culture. That is so cool. I like that. Leon Sphinx would sign the bottom of your shoes. That is funny. Wool is valuable. I completely agree. O.J. Simpson made a career out of signing his memorabilia in Vegas. Actually, that's what led to his imprisonment. Yeah, I mean, he probably just fell in with a bunch of bad, stupid people. But sometimes if you fall in with bad, stupid people, stupid things are going to happen to you. I saw Vegas in the 70s in Chi-Town. I was a 1981 baby, so I don't know. I don't remember the 70s, but you know, people tell me it was better than it is now in Vegas, at least. Staying at Mirage in September. Your thoughts? We usually stay at Bellagio, but can't pass up comp rooms. Mirage is a nice property if they ever fix the sign. their sign has been on the fritz forever. There's actually a Treasure Island live stream that I think just went back up. My friend Eddie down in Florida told me about it, and it was showing the sign was just, it's been broken for weeks. Mirage is nice. I mean, look, I want to see the Beatles Love Show, but I'm trying to string together some sales at work so I can justify spending the tickets, and Caroline and I can go and be fun. I think Leon is buried in Vegas. He might be. Yeah, there's a lot of boxers that retire out here because of the overwhelming history of professional boxing out here. Had the first snow in the Rockies today. Whoa, my God, Kevin, that's craziness, man. The sign has been fixed, Mr. Uber says. Thank you, Mr. Uber. The New Zealand sheep shearer taught the casinos how to shear the gamblers. Oh, trail wins. Comment of the night. I love wool jackets, but so hard to find a nice one. I'm allergic to wool. Well, one time, Caroline bought me a pair of pants. I tried them on, and I took them off, and my legs were almost as red as this shirt. And she's like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. Are these made out of wool? And they were made out of wool. Oh, sorry, my chest hurts. Why are there so many horrible, aggressive drivers in Nevada? I don't know. Hot, heat, frustration, bad roads. Half the roads out here are terrible. People have bad habits. They carry them from where they come from. Mostly people come here from other places. Right now, I think this is the ability to show everyone that you were in Vegas because of its past history, but all of the competition surfacing, that may not be enough to keep people coming. I don't know what that's all about. So, you know, there's Celebrity Find a Grave website. Let's look at something real fast. If I can reverse this. I don't know if I can. Oh, all right. Now we're in business. So this is called findagrave.com, and we're going to go to North America. Panama. Okay, anyway, sorry about the singing. And we're going to go to Nevada. Nevada has 134. And there you go. Tony Curtis. All right. Is this interesting? Is this good content? Here's the people that are buried in Nevada. 7 pages of them. Tony Curtis, Las Vegas. Don Wells, Reno. So Red Fox, as somebody already mentioned. Okay, obviously a comedian. Phyllis McGuire, Las Vegas. Harry, some of these we don't know. Siegfried, of course, rest in peace. Sonny Liston. I told you a lot of boxers make their final resting place in Vegas. Let's see here. Wild Bill Elliott. Wow. The most prolific Western performer in Hollywood history is born. Was buried at Palm Downtown Cemetery. Robin Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. You know Robin Leach. Robin Leach was paramount to getting the casinos to do live broadcasts in 1080p high definition. Before him, they didn't even think of it. They didn't consider it. And he went to MGM Resorts, is what I heard. I think it was actually Mandalay Bay Resorts or MGM Mandalay Bay or whatever it was called before that. And he pushed really hard to get them to spend a lot of money to make it so their broadcast could be done in high definition in 1080p, because he saw that as a way of the future. Steve Rossi. I've heard of Steve Rossi before. Let's see who else we can see. Russ Morgan. I'm trying to find names that you guys would know. Richard Oldman Harrison, obviously. Okay. Art Bell in Pahrump, so that's technically close to Vegas. Let's see here. I'm looking for some Milton. I don't know a lot of these names. Danny Gans, of course, he's a prolific Vegas entertainer. Played on the Strip for years. Singer. Let's see here. Trying to find some names. Do you guys see any names you recognize? Floyd Little, professional football player, halfback, cremated. They don't say where. Another one, professional boxer, Diego Chico Corrales. Yeah, so we got not a lot that I would recognize. Jay Jackson Sarno. Of course, Jay Sarno started the Circa Circus, and they built the Caesar's Palace, those two massive properties. You might have heard of those places. More professional athletes, baseball players, Major League Baseball players. Stephen Conti, I've heard of him before. I'm trying to find names that you guys would recognize. Let's see here. Oh, I don't know a lot of these names, unfortunately. John Sparks, never heard of John Sparks before. Oh, look at that! Elvis's manager is here. Colonel Tom. Colonel Tom, what's wrong? What's going on? I'm singing Tragically Hip again. Colonel Tom Parker is buried at Downtown Cemetery. Ray Williams, Sr., of course, he's a musician from back in the day. Another professional football player. Why are there so many athletes that retire here? It's kind of wild, isn't it? And then we have another mayor of Las Vegas. Professional gamblers. Little Joe Blues. So many people. Look, another football player. Why are there so many? This could be its own video, possibly. Probably not, because it's boring. A lot. There's a lot. It's all you need to know. And I can't find any big ones that I can recognize right off the top of my head. This is getting boring to everybody. Palace Station is a dump. Well, they renovated it. Have you been in since the renovation? It might be nicer than you remember. Shiny Flakes ask if I'm from California. I'm not. I'm actually from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It's like California, but a lot colder. And not like California whatsoever. My uncle built and installed the staircase in Wade Newton's house years ago. It was massive. That house, the Shenandoah, is still up for sale. Blackjack is drinking water out of the giant pitcher I left here in case I needed water. Devin says Danny Gann's body was moved a few years ago. Oh, wow. Good, interesting info. Bugsy Siegel. Is Bugsy in Vegas? I don't know. Let's find a grave. Let's find Bugsy. This one should just be the name Bugsy. B-U-G. Oh, wait. That's not it. Wow. Woo. Let's see. I can't find Bugsy. B-U-G-S-Y. Oh, wow. I don't know where Bugsy Siegel burial. I don't think he's in Vegas, though. I can't type. He's actually buried in Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles, California. Do you get a lock of hair? Did you get a lock of hair if you buy it? I got married in Vegas, J-Man says. Very nice. Let's see here. Trump 24, Conahan says. Okay. Yeah, Bugsy's in California. Whams, you're right. Come here, Blackjack. Hi, baby. You want to come up? Come on up. Oh, my God. About Usher, did you get to see the strippers sliding down the poles, shaking their rump shakers? I didn't go to Usher's concert, so there's that. Hi. It's a Blackjack. You don't like the lights very much. He's not even purring. Oh, now he's purring. The purring has kicked in. Steven, did you hear that Tom Green moved back to Ottawa from L.A.? No, I never heard that. What has Tom Green been up to? This is the Tom Green Show. It's not the Green Tom Show. This is my favorite show. If you are blogging on the Strip the week of September 19th, Starbucks is on my Friendin is on my friends, is on me. Okay, I got you. I'll have to get just something without caffeine in it. I'm sure they sell it. They probably don't. Speaking of curious morbidity, are there any tours or anything related to Nevada's nuclear testing sites? There's an entire atomic testing museum, actually. You can go to it. It's on East Flamingo Road, not too far from the Strip, kind of tucked into UNLV's property, and you can take a whole walkthrough of there. My bum is on Swedish. My bum is on your lips. Yes, I know. I have a fear of heights. Okay. Pauly Shore moved to Vegas. Buddy. Ow. You can talk to me about it sometime. Don't bite my face. Don't do it. The Mexican border is open. Yeah, that's true. Although I know somebody who went to Mexico and they had to do like the PCR test before they came in, or a rapid test before they came back. Yeah, Blackjack is huge. He's never been a small cat. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. You good now? Still not feeding you. Tom was living in the van during the COVID. Oh, well, Tom is smart. A lot of van people do really, really well. Is Jerry Tarkanian buried here? I'm not sure. If somebody wants to look that up, my hands are kind of full right now. What are you doing? You going to do it again? I know. Oh, I know. Oh, yes. Oh, I know. Mark me up with those glands. No cats will ever come near this hat ever again. Yeah, Pauly Shore is a dick in real life. Buddy, wheeze the juice. Man, that was a big part of my childhood growing up. Let's see here. Biden won't let Canadians drive across the border. It's not Trudeau. Really? Well, how is that even possible? I don't know about that. I mean, doesn't Canada say who gets to go into their country? Wait, no, that's not true. No, wait, what you just said is not true. No, because on August 9th, they opened up the border to Americans who are double vaccinated to go to Canada. So, I don't know. Oh, wait, what you're saying is Biden won't let Canadians drive in. Okay, fair enough. I like it. No, that is true. You're very right. See, I'm wrong sometimes. Blackjack, make sure Steven pays you for the proper wage for appearing on the live stream. There you go. Somebody asked who was buried here? Jerry Tarkanian. Tark the Shark might be buried here. Burial site. What a morbid stream. At least we're not talking about COVID in Afghanistan. It says burial unknown. But then findagrave.com has him burial unknown. We don't know where he's buried. But you can drive on Jerry Tarkanian Way. It's a little side road that runs parallel to the 215 Beltway. So, yeah, FlexPix says Biden is stopping the Canadians. You're right. No, I'm not against being wrong. So what's this all about? Shirash says. Shirash, you're missing a P in your last name, brother. I don't know what to tell you. Somebody says, go Hawks. Do you mean the Chicago Blackhawks? Chicago Blackhawks? Chicago Blackhawks. Right there. Everything's reversed. Son of a gun. So I got the shirt, and I got the hat right back there. And then I got a black cat corpse. It's kind of weird. It's somebody sent it there. America has the border closed for non-essential. Do you ever show where the fire of the old MGM Grand is? Yeah, we've covered that a lot on the channel. For sure we have. Thank you for getting mad about me saying that. Just here probably was super spoiled. Just here probably was I don't know what you mean. I'm not mad. I was just like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Oh, Pauly Shore. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm all over the map right now. Has anyone really born in Vegas? For sure. Yeah, let's take a look at that. So we're going to type it into the Google machine. We're going to find out. There's a whole bunch of people that are famous. Famous people born in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's a whole list of this. Birthplace, IMDb. So this is not even going to cover any athletes or anything like that. I don't know who that is. Actually, no, I don't know who that is. Who are these people? Wait a minute. There's that pitcher, Bryce Harper. Isn't he from here? He is from here, right? Thomas Decker. That sounds like a video game character. But these are apparently actors, but none of them are like starring in whatever is popular these days. This is a really bad list. Let's look up at another list. Born in Vegas, Nevada, famous birthdays. Oh my God, it's the same damn name, and half of them are like YouTube people. It's just YouTube people, man. Instagram star. I swear to you, I saw that there was famous people born here that were like athletes and stuff like that. Here. Here's 13 people that are born. Jenna Malone from Sparks. Okay, I know Jenna Malone. Kyle Busch. Okay, born in Las Vegas. Don Wells, Reno. Rutino Wesley. Barry Zito, baseball player. Charisma Carpenter, another one. Andre Agassi. Aha. There's no way he was born here? Yeah, I guess so. He was raised in Vegas. Okay. Matthew Gray Gubler. Don't know who that is. Abby Dalton. So not a lot. It's not like, oh, look at that. Patricia Ryan Nixon from Ely, Nevada. She married President Richard Nixon. So she's from Ely. But not a lot of local Las Vegans. Kurt Busch, didn't we already see him once? So yeah, you got some people like that. Now, for the record, what's his name? The late night show host. Oh my God, I can't remember what's his name is. Late night host, Vegas. Oh gosh, Jimmy Kimmel. He's not from Las Vegas. Jimmy Kimmel's not from Las Vegas. His family relocated here. He went to high school here. He went to 1 year of UNLV, then he switched schools. But he still acts like he's from Las Vegas because it's cool to be from Las Vegas. But he's not really from Las Vegas. Jimmy Kimmel is not from Vegas whatsoever. Go to biography.com. He was born James Christian Kimmel. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. Hey, yo, my name's Jimmy Kimmel. One day I'm going to be a big star. I'm going to tell everybody I was from Las Vegas. He was raised in Vegas. He went to school here. And then after that, he left high school after UNLV, went to UNLV, went to Arizona State University, and then he went on to do stuff. And now he's the host of, the late show. I haven't watched a late night show in a long time. So there you go. Well, listen to me. I'm Jimmy Kimmel. How you doing? Why does everybody sound like Tony Danza, son of a gun? Yeah, High 61 says, hey, I'm walking here. That was all improvised, too. That famous scene from, was that Midnight Cowboy? Where they're in New York and the cab almost hits him. He goes, hey, I'm walking here. That was actually completely improvised. It's like saying Keanu Reeves is from Canada. We went to high school there. Yeah, I mean, it's true, and Canadians do that, too, Doug. Canadians will tell you, famous Canadians, did you know Alexander Graham Bell was Canadian? Yes, but he was born in Scotland, so don't forget that, So, and that's okay to do. You can have your pride over it and everything like that. That's cool, and everything like that. Let's see here. Oh, I gotta respond to this. Soon. Soon. You put one O less and it becomes sun when you try to say soon. How you's doing? All right. The dude from The Killers, absolutely. The lead singer from The Killers is from Vegas, and their studio is called Battleborn Studios. And they named Sam's Town after a local hotel. That was the name of their album. Let's see here. Any updates on the northern extension of the I-11? That's a big old highway. We drove on it for the first time ever when we were coming back from Arizona. And it's a badass highway, man. It's great. Let's see if we can find that. We have to go south. Let me just do this. Oh, I'm going to give y'all whiplash. So we got to go on. We got to get down to the Hoover Dam. So how do we get down to the Hoover Dam? We have to look at Vegas. And it's actually going to be better if I don't. Yeah, we got to look at the roads now. Okay. So here we go. And that's the 515. And that's Lake Shore. And the Hoover Dam is down here. Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I right? That should be the Hoover Dam if I'm not a complete idiot. So you go over this giant bridge. So they're building this giant highway called Interstate 11. And what it is, it's a giant, it's the 93, and it loops kind of through Hoover Dam. And I can't really find it on the map. But let's find it on a map because it's absolutely beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous road, but it's not done yet. And riding on it, you realize that you're on something pretty special, actually. And so we'll go to some images so you guys can see what that actually looks like. That's when you get on it coming from Bullhead City and Laughlin. And through the pass, it looks gorgeous. That's what it actually looks like. You can see Lake Las Vegas in the background. And you're like, this is fantastic. But it cuts through some mountains, and it's kind of crazy to drive on. It's there's no on or off ramps, which is weird because there's a certain set of rules that the interstate has to adhere to, and one of the rules is that you do need to have right-of-ways that are on and off ramps that go into it, but it's such a small part of the interstate highway system that maybe it's exempt from that rule. I'm not really sure. just to give you an idea of what it's going to do when it's finished here. This will show you on the map right here. And you can see this is Boulder City down here. And it basically just cuts around Boulder City and then just goes into Henderson from the Arizona state line right there. And it's actually a much bigger highway too. It's going to go up further, I think. And there's a whole Wikipedia article. And if you're boring like me, you can actually read on it. And you can find what it's actually going to look like. And that's kind of how it looks underneath that bridge, which is pretty darn amazing, to be honest. And that bridge itself, that's the Tillman, Pat Tillman. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the other guy. Pat Tillman was the NFL player that died in Afghanistan, rest in peace. And I can't remember the name. Mike O'Callahan, that's right, Memorial Bridge that goes over the Hoover Dam, which in and of itself is an engineering marvel. First time I visited Hoover Dam as an adult, they were blasting concrete. They had to blast concrete for all of these supports, and you realize that you're like, we're at the Hoover Dam, and it says, like, you can feel the ground shake when they go boom, and you're like, that's insanity. Hoover Dam is fascinating. I mean, in and of itself, the architecture is different on both sides. There's different sculptures on one side on Arizona versus the other. It's this 1920s, 1930s monolithic looking stuff. I mean, so we're looking at two sides of it right now, right? So which one is going to be Nevada? I mean, the Nevada is going to be over here, right? So when people were working on this dam, there was better coverage for somebody that might die in the line of work in Arizona. So what they would do is if somebody died, they would just drag the dead body into Arizona and call the foreman over and say, boss, he died. I mean, it was just like badasses back then. And now where are we at? I don't know. But it's an amazing structure. If you ever get here, definitely see it. And before you ask me, I don't know if the Hoover Dam tours are open. Let's look up Hoover Dam tours. Let's see if they're actually open. It's run by the BLM, I think, Department of Bureau of Land Management, or it's something else. Oh, Bureau of Reclamation. Okay, so yeah, there are no Hoover Dam tours at this time. Wah, wah, sad trombone. But there used to be guided tours into the bottom of the dam. And then you could be like Beavis in the Beavis and Butthead Do America movie. And so I got a question. Is this a dam tour? So that's funny. How bad is the water crisis in Vegas? Well, for the first time ever, they're going to impose water restrictions on all the southwestern states. Pretty bad. And, you know, it's not going to affect Vegas that much. At least not for now. We only get 7% of our water from Hoover Dam, from what I read. So it's not going to be a big drop. No, wait. We're only going to have a 7% reduction from the Hoover Dam water here. But in places like Arizona, it's going to be up to 20% reduction. We're eating at Tide Pods and ear gauges. Okay. Rent a car to get to the Hoover Dam. You can take a tour. I mean, there's Airbridge and there's different tour bus companies, but you really want to be able to get out along the way. You want to see Boulder City. Boulder City, Nevada is called that, not Boulder City, Colorado. That's a different place. I'm sure it's nice too. Boulder City, Nevada is a beautiful town. It was named such because originally the Hoover Dam was named the Boulder Dam, and then they named it after J. Edgar Hoover. And it's really just a place that's completely stuck in time. So if you go down to the main drag in Boulder City, you're going to see all of these really old style buildings and houses and things that you wouldn't usually see. They have sculptures that are basically based on, there's parts of the Hoover Dam, like old giant generator parts inside of there. Let's go down to the actual center district here. And there's old buildings, churches, chapels, restaurants, sandstone type things. Restaurants are nice. This is the only city in all of Nevada that has a moratorium where you cannot gamble. There is no gambling in Boulder City anywhere. Modern amenities like CVS pharmacies, but no gambling in Boulder City, Nevada whatsoever. And the reason for that is simple. I got to scratch my nose, so bye-bye. When they were building the Boulder Dam, I'm not a big fan of, I'm not saying unions are bad, but I'm not a big fan of unions in some aspects. In some ways I am. They served a good purpose back in the day when, basically a manufacturer like Henry Ford would beat his employees to get them to go back to work. They called them strike breakers. It was terrible. And anyways, but back then they did a great thing. When they were developing the Boulder Dam, the government had agreed to make a city for people to live in, and they never made the city. So the story I heard was that the unions came out this way and told the government, if you don't give these people the city to live in because they're living in tents in the middle of the desert, then we're going to basically sue you, and everybody's going to go on strike, and your project's going to end. So they did exactly that. They built a city. They called it Boulder City. And because they didn't want people to be getting paid from the government, spending it all on the slot machines, and because back in the 1930s, it was a lot more difficult to get back to the main area to gamble in Vegas in the 30s, okay? This is the 1930s. You had to go to downtown Las Vegas. There was nothing on the strip in the day. So because of that, Whams says, I took the hard hat tour of Las Vegas over the Hoover Dam. They stopped offering it after 9/11. Whams, you got some memories, bro. You should send me some photos. I'll feature them on the channel. Give you some credit. Just email. I don't want your hard copies. That'd be cool, Whams. Anyways, that's awesome. So because they didn't want people going into Vegas, or they didn't want people going back home and gambling, they basically made it a no gambling zone. There was no gambling in Boulder City. And to this date, there's no gambling in Boulder City. And I think there is this developer offers to purchase Boulder City, Nevada. Let's see if I can find this. So there was this idea that, I don't know if I can find it right now. There was a thing where somebody was trying to buy the entire city. We're talking like 10, 12 years ago. And the reason they wanted to buy the entire city was simple. If they can buy the whole city, they can change the rules and they can build casinos down there. And of course, the city rejected it and said, no, we're not going to take our place. Now, Boulder City has the least amount of crime in the entire state of Nevada. It's like the safest place to live. It's also the most, it skews toward the most oldest place to live, meaning that the populace is generally much older, but it's much more subdued, but you still have to drive quite a bit. I mean, if I'm going to drive from Boulder, let's just do this, Boulder City, Nevada to, I don't know, Resorts World. Let's see what that drive looks like. So let's say you're driving to the strip, you have family coming in. Yeah, I mean, look, you're looking at a 40-minute commute one way, 40 minutes the other way. So you got to consider your time, right? I mean, if you're going to be commuting to and from the strip every day, you're looking at 37 times 2, and you're doing that 5 days a week. That's not 370. It's 74 minutes a day, 74 times 5 days a week. Always do this when you're moving. It's 370 minutes you're going to commute, and that comes out to you spending 6 hours a week driving to and from work. Cece, thank you so much, Cece. That is so nice of you. I appreciate you, Cece. So if you're going to want to commit yourself to driving over 6 hours a week, you say, well, it's just 6 hours a week, but there's 52 weeks in a year. That's 320 hours, okay? 320 hours divided by 24 hours in a day means you spent 13 days of your year doing that. You do that for 20 years, you just see the absurd math. I'm doing a sales pitch on you right now. 267 days, divide that by 365 days over 20 years, you spent nearly 3/4 of a year of your life in your car. That's a tough one. You got to think about that for a minute. Let's see here. In Soviet Russia, city buys you. Oh, you're quoting my man Yakov Smirnoff from the 1980s. Let's see here. Gas mileage, yeah, gasoline, all that stuff. I-11 long-term is Mexico to Canada. Whoa! Kevin, you're right. I totally forgot on that. And Con I Am is a motivational speaker who lives in a dam down by the river. Maps and calculus. I'm a nerd, Arlo. There's my Asperger's kicking in, folks. There you go. Mindset motivation loves the cat. Here, kitty, kitty. They're both here. Blackjack's here. Domino's here sleeping. And Blackjack's here waiting for me to give him food. Is a donkey show like a horse show? Donkey shows are a myth, and a myth that tourists think happens in Mexico, in Tijuana. And that's the myth that they bring a donkey in and a woman in, and when a donkey and a woman love each other very much, it doesn't happen. I mean, I lived in Mexico for a while, and it's just a thing that they tell tourists that they believe. It was decided by the superintendents of construction to disallow gambling and drinking in the original camp city that became Boulder. Oh, look at that. Boom. I'm not completely out of sorts and out of space. Well, lottie freaking da, we got ourselves a blogger here. Oh, you guys are great. I got the best audience, even though I'm not out on the strip. I'm going to be out on the strip a lot more. I've got a Oregon Beavers hat. I don't, Kyle. I do have a Ducks hat somewhere. Go Ducks go. I got to reorganize my shelf. It's getting kind of messy. So, yeah, I would love to have a Beavers hat. Beaver. Star Wars or Star Trek, and why? Well, man, does anybody care? Have I ever been out to Blue Diamond, the town of Blue Diamond? I mean, I've been all over Blue Diamond Road. You can drive from the strip. Does anybody care, Star Wars or Star Trek? Say yes in the chat if you want to hear me opine on that. Blue Diamond, yes. The town of Blue Diamond is a small little town, and they actually didn't even want tourists there. I like that town. It's nice. Blue Diamond, Nevada. I'll show you this little place. Actually, we can just probably, it might not be on Google Earth, actually. Well, I mean, it's on Google Earth, but it might not be a 3D render. Blue Diamond, Nevada. So let's go and find some Blue Diamond, Nevada. Some people say yes. Okay, we'll talk about Star Wars versus Star Trek in a bit. Blue Diamond, Nevada. So Blue Diamond Road is a road that goes from the Silverton in Las Vegas all the way out and turns into State Route something or other. Well, let's start there. So down here you have this road, 160. Now 160 actually becomes 159. So if you go down 160, it goes to Pahrump. That's over the hump. Now you're into Pahrump. But if you take this 160, it turns into 159. It actually loops back to the strip right by the Stratosphere. So Blue Diamond Road is a road that goes down from the main Silverton, and you can see the Silverton right here. And see if I can remember how to. I never remember. There it is. Okay, we're gonna go like this. So these are the mountains in the background, and this is me spazzing out, not being able to do anything right. Okay, so Blue Diamond is right here. We're gonna take this road all the way up here to the outskirts of Nowheres, and then we're gonna go down here. This is the town of Blue Diamond. Okay, now when the shutdown was going on, people were trying. There's no 3D map of this place, unfortunately. Oh, there is. Oh, man, no, there's none. Blue Diamond is a really small little community, and they have signs up that say, "Don't just show up. Like, don't just come here, please. We don't want you here. Like, we're a small little bedroom community, and you don't have to necessarily be here." I got to scratch my nose again. Oh, I almost did it all. Look at that. Oh, I clicked the wrong button again. Oh, now I nailed it. Okay. No one wants to see me scratch my nose. And they're going to clip it out and go, "Not leaving Las Vegas," picks his nose. So it's a small little bedroom community. There's not much out here. What there is, though, is this amazing drive that takes you all the way through. This is mostly Bureau of Land Management. So as you're driving out here and you see signs that say BLM land, it's not what you think after the last year and a half we've had. Not that organization. And by the way, before you want to rip my throat out, I didn't say anything bad about them. I'm just saying BLM has two meanings now. But out here in Nevada, it means Bureau of Land Management. Now, this is the old site for, I think, Bonnie Springs Ranch, right? Bonnie Springs, yeah. This is the old Bonnie Springs Ranch Road. And this used to be a little historical recreation town with a little inn, and it's been all ripped apart now. There was a petting zoo down here, I believe. I could be wrong. Let me see if I'm wrong. One of these two, most likely it's actually this one out here. This is a little wash that comes down out of the mountains. So you can come down here, and if you drive your car out here, you will find the most beautiful rocks, like reds, all these different hues. If you continue going on this way, though, and you continue going on, let me show you how this goes, because it's really interesting. You can see it just cuts through the valleys. The mountains are very close to you. It gets snow out here on the tops of the mountains during the winter time, and you continue on State Route 159. Now you get up to this other area that's technically north of Lake Mead. Lake Mead is going to be all the way up here. This is Lake Mead, down here. This is going to have the Valley of Fire, but that's not what we're looking at right now. And I somehow got completely turned around in my map. Oh man, I hate when I do that. 161, 159, Blue Diamond. No, I'm good. I'm good. So then we get down to the city limits. Now, this is that area that you guys all know and love called Summerlin, that everybody says I should move to Summerlin. And you can see how close Summerlin is to the mountains now. When I came out here in 2004, pretty much none of this block of building here, none of this existed. Now it's all communities, high-end, guard-gated. You can't get in unless you have your name on a list, that kind of thing. Yeah, this is Summerlin, and it's much different than other parts of Vegas. If you look at most of the city of Las Vegas, you'll see how it's on a perfect grid, right? And I mean, with the exception of this, which is one of these little side roads, most of the city is on a perfect grid. Not Summerlin. No, no, no. Here it's twisty, turny. These are all golf courses that you can see back here. So these people all live on golf courses and stuff like that. And then over here, look, pretty much a grid with some little cul-de-sacs and things like that in between those. So that's Summerlin if you guys are looking to come out into that area and you're thinking you're going to live that way. And then we have out here, this is going to be the baseball stadiums and stuff are out here. This would be Meadow Hill. This is a different area. Let's find it, because we got to find Red Rock Resort and Casino, and that's should be relatively easy to find. We're just going to try to find Charleston, because this road is going to become West Charleston. So if we go down here further, eventually we get past the 215 Beltway. There it is. Okay, so this is, of course, Red Rock and everything coming into this area right here. I'm kind of lost because I should be seeing Red Rock Casino, but I'm not far enough. I feel like a complete amateur at this game. Yeah, South Rampart. It's West Charleston. Mr. Uber, I wish I had you here. You could help me with this. There it is, Red Rock Resort. Okay, the reason I got lost is because I was looking for the Aviator Stadium, but it's not built in this photo yet. This building here is the City National Arena. This is where the Golden Knights do all their practice games out here, and that's the City National Arena home of the Golden Knights. Right now, this right here is a baseball stadium where the Aviators play, our AAA affiliate team, and then we have downtown Summerlin, which you should definitely check out if you're into shopping. I think we're going to go on there and stream there this week, so be sure to subscribe to the channel for that. I missed a million people's chats. Don't forget to pick the like button. Sure. The Bunny Ranch. Bunny Ranches are in Pahrump. It's very hot out here. It is. You're sure there isn't a bunch of fundamentalist Mormons and Latter-day Saints out there? There are some in northern Nevada. There are some LDS fundamentalists, FLDS as they call them. Fundamentalists, Latter-day Saints, go by the very first version of the Book of Mormon, which the Mormon Church has since disavowed, saying that men should have multiple wives. So they practice polygamy. There's a guy named Jeffries. He was caught in Las Vegas. He was wanted by the federal government. And I think they caught him here in Las Vegas, of all places. So yeah, Summerlin isn't expensive to live. It is very expensive to live. What are the seniors' mobile home areas like? So there's only a few kind of mobile home areas out here. Mostly we have, like, they're building a seniors community in Lake Las Vegas, for example. I'd love to move out there. Not much call for an emergency management degree. Probably not. If that has to do with, like, natural disasters. Very cool, Summerlin. Your Christmas stream from downtown Summerlin was one of your best. Yeah, so subscribe to the channel. I'll check out Summerlin this week with you guys. I'll take the bullet, bite the bullet, and I'll drive out. So, I like both Star Trek and Star Wars, but the only Star Trek I ever watched extensively was The Next Generation. We watched it a lot, as a matter of fact. I remember watching it when it first came on TV, and I was like, what the hell is this thing? See, Star Trek became so popular during The Next Generation because it remained a syndicated show. So instead of just airing on one network, because now I think CBS owns the entire whole shebang, it was airing on any network that would buy it. Back in the 80s, there was no DVRs, and people needed programming to put on TV. So The Next Generation was syndicated right out the gate, like right off the bat. Anybody could purchase it. Now, typically shows need to hit a threshold. I think it's 100 different episodes for them to go into syndication. And so I think it's 100 shows. If anybody's in Hollywood showbiz, tell me in the comments below. But if you have that many shows, you're basically rich for life if you're an actor, because your show will be picked up in syndication and you'll get paid syndication fees. But Star Trek Next Generation started off like anybody could air it. And that's good. Star Trek The Next Generation, I loved it for, I don't know why. I mean, it was just, maybe it was because I was like 9 or 10 years old when it first came out. Maybe it was Jean-Luc Picard and William Riker and Wesley Crusher and all those guys, and Data. Oh, I love me some Data. The idea of technology and cyborgs and androids and all that kind of stuff. And now Android is a phone, and Brent T. Spiner isn't doing anything lately. And then comes along Star Wars, and I never even properly saw Star Wars until the re-release in the 90s when they remastered them. And then they start tinkering with everything. And then I really get into the trilogy, and I really did enjoy the prequels. I think they were good for what they were. So Star Wars was revolutionary. George Lucas took a big gamble when he released The Phantom Menace Episode 1 in 1999. When he released The Phantom Menace in 1999, he put it on digital. He filmed it on digital. He didn't put it on digital. He filmed it on digital. And of course, they made prints of this movie, but that was the first one that they actually displayed digitally, too. Now all theaters are basically digital theaters because of the cost of film prints and trucking them around, whereas you can just download a movie. If you're at a theater, you can just click a button and download the latest release via the internet to a special kind of server setup. So I really enjoy Star Wars, but then Disney bought Star Wars, and then they remade episode 4. They remade episode 4 when they did the J.J. Abrams version of Star Wars. And I'm like, I've already seen this movie. It came out in the 70s. What are you doing? And then Disney is just like running around like dollar signs, swimming in money, just going ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And they're just, to me, maybe not to you, my opinion, but just distilling down our childhood memories and just making them meaningless, you know. And one thing they did was, if you're a fan of books and you read the books based on things, they basically threw out all the stuff and said, oh, that's no longer canon, meaning it doesn't fit into the universe anymore. And a lot of Star Wars fans were like, what are you talking about? This is how we fill gaps for 40 years, 50 years of this thing. So, I mean, they're both fine, I guess. I haven't watched any new Star Wars stuff. I kind of watched the one with Scott Baio for a little bit. I can't remember if that was the Star Trek series. And you know, and I haven't seen the Star Wars movie in a while. And, you know, I like them. They're fine. If they're on TV, I might sit down if I ever had time. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Only watch original Star Trek Next Generation, not the other series. There you go. I believe that there is a limit to how long residuals can be received. There might be Shadow, but I mean, they make a lot of money. Steven, have you ever gotten too close to Nellis Air Force Base? No. I mean, Nellis Air Force Base is very nondescript. You're not going to see a lot if you get close to it. Nellis Air Force Base is also known as Area 51, but most people wouldn't even think that. So let's see if I can just do this out here and find you guys Nellis Air Force Base. Nellis is in the city limits. Nellis Air Force Base. And let's find that. Whoa. All right, so there's Nellis, right? And so you can't really get too close to Nellis Air Force Base because there's this giant gate. It says, you are now entering Nellis Air Force Base. What the hell? Do you have permission? Here it is. This is the gate right here. Like, you cannot get too close to Nellis Air Force Base because there's a guy with a real assault rifle right here. Wow, what did I just do? I guess you can zoom in that much. There's a dude with a real assault rifle right here ready to tell you that you shouldn't be here, sir. You need to leave right now. Which totally makes sense because it's an Air Force base, for God's sakes. What are you doing here? And, oh, okay, exit ground level view. Thank you. I guess there's ground level view. But that's Nellis, but it doesn't stop there. That's the tip of the iceberg. Now, the real people that have a problem are the people that live in this part of North Las Vegas, because my uncle came out here years ago. This is the Motor Speedway, I think, too, right? Is that it? Yep, that would be it. So you can see how close it is. Now, when you come out to Nellis, you live out here, man, it's some loudness, man. You don't want to deal with that. But actually, Nellis technically goes like way back into the desert, like super far back. The actual boundary of it goes all the way out hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's a huge place, and you can't really get too close. Pleasant, please, Mum. Thank you so much for that $5. What does Canada have on the $5 bill now? I think they got rid of my man Sir Wilfrid Laurier when I was back there. I went to Sir Wilfrid Laurier Junior High School. Canada $5 bill. Let's see what they got. $5 bill. I think they changed it. What's an assault rifle? I know, right? No, they didn't change it. Is it still? Was it ever Laurier, or did I make that up? No, it was Sir Wilfrid Laurier. Thank God I didn't screw that up. Were they going to put Terry Fox on it? Oh, well, I'm okay with that if that's the case. I think they were changing it. Or one of the bills in Canada was going to change. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what. Canadian $5 bill. Nope, I guess not. Oh, your next candidates. Oh, Bank of Canada. This is not even a Vegas stream anymore. Oh, there you go. It could be any of these people, which nobody knows about. I mean, I'm not trying to be flippant or rude, but it looks like they're trying to put some Aboriginal First Nations of Canada people on there. I would just vote for Terry Fox because, unfortunately, he's the only name that I know because I'm not smart enough to know all these people. But there you go. Oh, one of the Crowfoot. That would be amazing. There's a lot of really amazing people on this list, by the way, just so you know. All right. If Area 15 is so secret, why can you view the entire area on Google Topographical Graph Maps? Well, what they do there is highly guarded secrets. I mean, anybody can make satellite photography happen because it comes from a satellite, right? There was actually last 2 years ago, this is funny, right? YouTubers, Area 51 arrested. These guys came out here, and it was such a freaking political stunt, and the news didn't even pick up on it. They didn't even realize, oh, poor Dutch YouTuber and his friend were arrested and jailed when they tried getting near Area 51. These guys had their minute, and they were on every news channel in the entire country, including CNN, Fox News. So a couple of years ago, they had this thing called Storm Area 51. It was an event that was going to go on near Rachel, Nevada, which is the little alien. It's a little place near Rachel, Nevada, which is far enough up and high enough in elevation that it's not too hot in September. So they were going to do this thing. Nothing happened. But they thought if we just go and storm it, like some Dragon Ball Z, there's memes, then they can't stop all of us. We're just going to storm into Area 51 and raid the property. I mean, people meme the hell out of this. So that's what they figured. They're going to do this, this run thing. Yeah. So they never materialized. Nobody showed up. This place up here, it was a big, huge fiasco. I should make a video about it and do some actual research. And these people up here had all sorts of conflicts over who was responsible financially, who owned everything. Well, I've been up to this sign. This is the extraterrestrial highway sign in central Nevada. It's pretty cool. But never happened. These Dutch YouTubers got their 15 minutes of fame, intentionally got themselves arrested and put in prison. And then they even had the news reporter doing like a video conference call from them in the Clark County Detention Center. I think the consequences is that obviously they were kicked out, they were trespassed, they were fined $2,200, $2,300 each person, and said you're not allowed to come back to the United States for certain amounts of time. So, you know, it's just like, you know, whatever. You can't get too close. Why do they show it? Because it's a satellite map. What do they have in there? Go listen to Bob Lazar. He'll blow your mind. They can't stop us all. Yeah, but they can stop each and every one of you. There you go. So there's a joke. I'm going to tell you guys a joke before we log off the stream here, okay? The joke goes something like this. A man is flying from Salt Lake City, Utah, and he gets lost. And he tells his wife he's going to Vegas just for a few hours for a business trip. He's an executive businessman. He flies his own airplane. Super successful guy. He flies over and he realizes that he ran out of gas. He's running out of fuel. And the only thing that he can see is where he shouldn't land, Area 51. So he says, I'm either going to crash and burn in these mountains in Nevada, or I'm going to land at Area 51, and hopefully they don't put me in jail forever. So the man then flies his, I think I might have told this joke before on the channel. So the man then makes his approach, makes it known that he's doing an approach. Please don't shoot me down. He lands, and by the time he lands, there's about 50 soldiers surrounding the plane in full SWAT team riot army gear, holding guns at him. They say, come with me. He comes with them. He goes, what are you going to do to me? They take him and they hold him for 4 days straight. He told his wife he'd be gone for a few hours on a trip. Be back home. I'm just flying to Vegas to do a business deal. I'll be right back. They hold him. They say, you don't know about this plane. They investigate. They grill this guy. They realize he's just an idiot who didn't fill up his plane the right way with enough gas for jet fuel. So they tell him, this place doesn't exist. You will tell nobody about this. If anybody asks, you make up a story. Just tell them you went to Vegas for 4 days and you lost yourself and you went a little bit crazy. But this doesn't exist and this doesn't go anywhere, or else we will lock you up and cancel you. You will not be a person anymore. He says, sure, no problem, whatever it is. Just don't put me in jail. Goes back home. About a week later, the same plane appears over the horizon and flying over Area 51. Guy lands this plane, and again, there's 50 different soldiers pointing assault rifles, weapons, all in full battle gear around him. He gets out of this plane. The commander of Area 51 comes up and goes, civilian, what is your major malfunction? What is your problem? We told you if you ever came back here or told another soul, you would be locked up, arrested, put in prison, and erased as a person into these United States. He goes, I know you told me all of that, and I agree with you. And then his wife gets out of the plane behind him, and he says, but somebody has to explain what I was doing in Vegas for 4 days to my wife. That's the joke. Bob Lazar is a good man. You should go listen to his podcast over on Joe Rogan. Anyways, there you go. That's the stream for tonight. Thanks for watching the stream. I really appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe. I tried to make that joke longer than it should have been, I guess. Anyways, you guys are wonderful. I don't know why there's no more chats. Usually there is, but the chats have completely stopped. Okay, we're going to log off. Thanks, guys. Watch the channel more. Subscribe to videos. We're going to say 3, 2, 1, click. I love you all for watching. Thank you guys for the super chats and for all the support. 3, 2, 1, and click.